Well, coming up this hour, social activist Oliver Barker-Vormawor apologizes for his social media post suggesting the Appointments Committee of Parliament has been demanding money from appointees before vetting. But also to come, People's National Convention forms an 11-member committee to review the reasons for the Electoral Commission's disqualification of the party's flag bearer. Plus, ECOWAS officially announces the formal exit of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger from the regional bloc. NewsCentral, I'm Kemenia Mano. There's more coming up right now. Now, social activist Oliver Barker-Vormawor has apologized to members of the Appointments Committee of Parliament over social media posts suggesting some individuals were paying bribes to secure ministerial approvals. According to him, his comments were not directed at Parliament's Appointments Committee. Speaking through his legal counsel, Nana Todadzi, Vormawor admitted to making aspects of the comments, but denied some aspects. The social activist was summoned to appear before the Appointments Committee today over his viral post, which he now says was partly not his. George Queenan is still there in Parliament. Let's get a bit more since the hearing from Oliver ended. George, good afternoon. Tell us what's happening now.
All right with it. But I was a little disappointed about the proceedings, how things proceeded, because we were not expecting. You are at one breath denying that you posted one of the posts, and that's on a second post you say you did. And instead of apologizing, you are saying the council was indicating that it was a form of a whistleblower. But we all know the process to undertake if we want to pursue the Whistleblower Act. We know it. So it was not the right way to do it. You cannot post something on your social media page and indicating that you were acting as a whistleblower. No, it doesn't work like that. So, but we are very fine with the fact that he has apologized. And that is what we required from him, because we wanted to know whether there's any truth in what is being posted out there. I think many a time, our class as legislators are being attacked in so many ways. I mean, careless statements are being spewed out there without any substantiation. We need to substantiate whatever is being put out there. And therefore, I don't understand. We found it very critical that the need to haul him over here and to come and certify to the whole world, to accept that nothing like that has happened. And he's even not owning up to the initial post. So that's fine with us.
Honorable, were you really concerned about the fact that the maker of the comment, that's Vormawor, had to speak later and then he only allowed his counsel to be doing the talking?
I think if you follow the proceedings, the first issue was whether by our laws we can give the respondent the privilege to have a counsel representative. So once the counsel was on his seat, he's supposed to represent the so he speaks for the. But
I'm asking this because that was coming from another who is a member of your party.
Yes, in some ways, yes. But since it's a statement that is attributed to him, there was the need that if any apology is coming, it will not be done by the council on his behalf, but we get him to do the apology himself, for the whole world to know that words were not put on his mouth, but he accepted that he is very ignorant of the posting.
Finally, before I let you go, do you think that with this very decision, it will bring lasting solution to this sort of, acts?
I think it is. Which actor? The actor.
People, making disparaging comments about Parliament.
I think people need to take a cue from it, because the next time I don't think we'll.
Because if he just takes a word of apology to just let me go, then clearly I can.
No. It's because of what the council said and what he also came to confirm, that the original statement doesn't really emanate from him. But we needed something, a disclaimer. Obviously, if you are not responsible for a statement, he said he's done it. In his statement, he confirmed that at various stages on the social media platform, he did not own up to that statement. And once it's said, we will find that...
No, Honorable, no. She's working for the side of the MPP, and so I know exactly, but at least let's get some fair representation. Why are you really impressed about the decision that was made so far by the committee?
Well, yes, I think that...
Okay, so Honorable Patricia PJ is the Member of Parliament for Asokwa. Now I'm not joined by Murtala Mohammed, who is also going to share his perspective on the way forward on this very matter.
Well, we all do when you are engaged in some of these things, the most important thing is that when you make a mistake and you realize that you made a mistake and you apologize. And for me, that should be the end of the matter. I wasn't comfortable when initially he seemed not willing, to apologize. I mean, we all do apologize. Look, there are more than 50 Facebook accounts opened in my name. Unfortunately, sometimes they use it to dupe people. I have reported to the Ghana police. There was a time even the police, CID, sent some officers here, and then they came to identify MPs whose names were being used to defraud people. Almost every single member of Parliament. So, and we need to be very careful. We need to be very careful the kinds of information we hear and how we take those information serious and go ahead to act upon them. I am going to be vetted, inshallah. Nobody has asked me to bring any money. I haven't made even any attempt to give any money.
Not made any phone calls? Anything?
No, not at all. Why should I? I mean, why should I be giving out money? Do I have anything to hide? I don't see vetting to be like a World Cup. If I go there, if they ask me questions, I know I will give sincere response. Those I don't know, I will admit that I don't know. It's a learning curve. We are all being sent to ministries that you are going there to learn and also to work with technical people. So it is not every information that should. So I don't know what would occasion the attempt of anybody wanting to bribe. And for me, that is a serious allegation. We need to be very careful. You see, there's a saying that the rumors are said by enemies, spread by innocents, and believed by fools. It's not everything you hear that you go ahead to say it publicly. I mean, you hear a lot of rumor. Nobody has asked me to bring in any money. I haven't even made an attempt to give a dime to anybody. So when I heard it, I was taken aback and I was wondering what is happening. Is it that some of our colleagues have done that? And all our colleagues I've spoken to, they all said, look, they haven't given any money.
But don't you think it's just a wake-up call for Parliament to look into this and see if there's some sort of truthness in it?
Well, I think that it has to do with what happened in the 7th Parliament, and I guess that is where the suspicion and others are coming from. Frankly speaking, Honorable Ahemfo is one very outstanding, person, very honest, very sincere. I have dealt with him. I came to Parliament with him in the 6th Parliament, and I know his credibility. And he doesn't joke with the credibility. I was supposed to be vetted today, but he told me last night, I said, look, Murtala, our integrity and credibility is very important. So, and as I understand, my people came, and what do? It adds up some pressure. But I think it is important, and for me, that some of these issues are dealt with in a manner it was dealt with. And he apologized for me. That should be the end of the story.
Thank you so much, Murtala. Murtala Mohammed is the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, and he says he has never paid a dime because he's also been appointed. He'll be facing vetting anytime soon. So all those claims are not true, but he thinks this should be investigated by Parliament. But we have one of the legal counsels for the maker of the comment, Lawyer Dawudu. Thanks for joining us on Weekends. What's the name? Midday Live.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. It's always
it's been a fight well fought.
Oh, I would say that I think that we are grateful to the leadership of the committee and the members of the committee. They've made things a bit simple for us. And as lawyers, we are also grateful to senior members, senior citizens who we tap their rich advice and things that have to be done. And unconditionally, they accepted our apology to bring things to a place. I think that the lead counsel all wanted to show that there are some certain rights that as a person who appears before any committee you have. And those were the rights. But I think that we had indication, the committee gave us a clue that if we want to go into the legalities, it might not help all of us. We can have scars. And that's what I think the clue we quickly picked up from the committee. And because we actually came with the intention to come and apologize. The lessons that you know is that you can do the right thing at the wrong time. Your choice of words is very important. What you say or what you post as evidence, it's very important. So it's a big lesson we have learned. You don't need to happen to you, but you learn from people's experience. And I think that we thank the committee, we thank everybody for this.
Finally, before I let you go, I read your post at a point in time when your client was supposed to render the apology. I think he was winding, and you were not comfortable with that.
Yes. I think that the committee was not. You see, as a lawyer, when you go before a judge or a committee, the demeanor and the other things speaks volumes. So once you get to know what the judge or the committee chair and others, their demeanor, they are not interested in what other people have done. They could have hauled them, but they did not. So what you have done, that's why you are here. So giving some justification and the rest, I think that was not. All they wanted was an apology and also absolve the committee and its members that, look, there is nothing, there's no evidence to show that somebody has given money. I think what the lead counsel was saying, that ostensibly people would say, oh, this man is going for a vet, and so we need some money. That it has never happened. And I think the committee is also satisfied that the whole world today will know that nobody had ever approached anybody for money, whether a member of the committee or the leadership of the committee. And I think that they are satisfied with that.
Thank you so much. Lawyer Edward Dawudu is a member of the legal representation of the maker of the comment. That's Barker-Vormawor, and for him, it's a fight well fought, and they've learned their lessons, and so you can actually make a good comment at a wrong time. And so these were his last words. And so Vormawor has apologized, and he's going to render some sort of, going to also render some sort of disclaimers on some of the posts he said he was not the author to. There were two posts, one on 24th and 25th. 25th, he says he made that post. 25th, which was the second post, he says he was not the author of it. So he's going to, render a disclaimer and also ensure that he withdraws the post that he says he authored. And so these is what transpired at today's committee sitting. And you can also follow us on Facebook. We have some, exclusives right there, and engage us with whatever your views are, and we'll surely read them and share them to the rest of the world. Thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure coming your way. Good afternoon.
George Quinn in there with that report. We can now take a listen to Oliver Barker-Vormawor as he apologized to the committee.
This is words in the book. Please, are you going to render apology? We are not interested in what Manasseh has said in the past. Please.
Mr. Chairman, I crave your indulgence for context and clarity. I crave your indulgence for context and clarity as to why my post. In the book, Mr. Manasseh said, Muntaka never mentioned that the only cash that came to the appointment...
Mr. Oliver Barker-Vormawor, are you going to do justification, or you want to render an apology and we close this meeting?
Mr. Chair, I have no intention to lecture the committee. If the committee resolves that the context of the post is irrelevant to the commission, the question here, I'm happy to proceed as the committee has directed. Now,
proceed as the committee has directed.
Mr. Chair, I am saying here clearly that my post was not intended to disparage members of the committee, and I have not intended to say that members of this committee have received or demanded bribes from various individuals. At no point was my statement intended to communicate same, and for those reasons, I apologize. Mr. Chair, the reason why I have left the post on and not deleted it, in fact I did contemplate it, was because I saw that the words had been twisted and that it became imperative on me that I maintain the post in its original form. That if I was questioned on it, reference can be made to be able to verify it. This is the reason why it wasn't deleted.
Well, after that, the committee still has a lot of work to do. Let's look at those nominees to face the committee when they resume their work. Remember that yesterday the chairman of the committee had indicated, the work they were doing, vetting the nominees, will be put on hold until the committee had met with Oliver Barker-Vormawor. Now that it has happened, we know the next in line to be vetted include Ningo Prampram MP, Sam Nate George, Minister Designate for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Kofi Idi Adams, Minister for Sports and Recreation, Abdul Rashid Pelpo, Minister Designate for Labor, Jobs and Employment, and Kwabena Minta Akando, Minister Designate for Health. We expect that along the line we will see these gentlemen face the committee. But also following up will be Ibrahim Mohammed Simutala, Minister Designate for Environment, Science and Technology, Joseph Bukari Nikbe, Minister Designate for Transport, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, Minister Designate for Foreign Affairs, and Felix Kwache Ofosu, Minister Designate for Government Communications. And the final in the list so far, Minister Designate for Minister of State for Climate Change and Sustainability, Isifu Seidu, Minister Designate for the Upper West Region, Pozeng Luanga, Minister Designate for the Bono East Region, Francis Owusu Enchi, and Minister Designate for the Western North Region, Wilbert Petty Brintum. Well, on to some other issues now. The Economic Community of West Africa States has officially announced the formal exit of Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger from the regional bloc following their withdrawal last year. In a press statement released on Wednesday, ECOWAS emphasized its commitment to regional solidarity and assured that despite the withdrawal, the bloc would maintain open channels for cooperation. The three states announced their withdrawal from the bloc last January after ECOWAS demanded a restoration of democratic rule in Niger following military coup there in 2023. Instead, the three breakaway states formed the Alliance of Sahel States, an alternate bloc, and launched their own biometric passports. ECOWAS said on Wednesday the remaining members tentatively agreed to keep ECOWAS doors open by recognizing national passports and identity bearing the bloc's logo from the countries to continue trade under existing regional agreements and to continue diplomatic cooperation with the countries. ECOWAS authority has directed all relevant institutions within and outside member states to implement measures to minimize disruptions for citizens and businesses during the transition period. ECOWAS also stressed that these arrangements will remain in place until a final decision is made on future engagements with the three nations by the ECOWAS heads of states and government. Let's have a quick chat on the back of this. Mukhtar Mumuni is a security analyst, is joining us for a bit more on this development in the last few hours of the day. Mukhtar, I appreciate you talking to us. How does this news come to you, knowing that only last year, indeed last year, that the three nations had formed the Sahelian region, and here we are now, ECOWAS now, so to speak, endorsing their breakaway from the regional bloc?
Well, the withdrawal of these three countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, takes effect today. And what it implies is that ECOWAS would cease or would have ceased to deal with these countries at the levels of security, cooperation in terms of development, in terms of the ECOWAS's protocol on the free movement of goods and services. But as you can see from the statement issued by ECOWAS, it is the most practical and sensible thing to do at the moment by ensuring that all the protocols of ECOWAS in relation to these countries in terms of free movement of goods and services and all the agreements between ECOWAS and its member countries are allowed to remain in force until there is a determination by ECOWAS in terms of how to move ahead with this withdrawal from ECOWAS. I think that the risks are dire in terms of implementing what this withdrawal means for the region and for the countries. If you remember, a couple of years ago, following the withdrawal, the coups in these three countries, the imposition of, the embargoes on them, the economic and social impact on those countries were severe. So the same way, if we were to follow through with the implications of the withdrawal, it would be a dire situation. There will be significant economic disruption among within the region. There will be serious security implications. So it makes sense that all the agreements and protocols are allowed to stay until there is a determination by ECOWAS in terms of how to proceed without disrupting economic, security, and social arrangements within the region.
I see. But let's look at the caveat that ECOWAS puts in that statement, that it gives the impression that more decisions will be taken in the future. How do you expect this to play out, and what impact could it be having on the dynamics of the West African regional bloc?
Well, I didn't get the question clearly, but I understand that how will this play out in the future?
Absolutely, especially given the backdrop that in that statement ECOWAS released, they also create the impression that there could be more in terms of its relations with the three nations in the future.
Well, of course, clearly, there is a regional body that we all have subscribed to in terms of what it means for security, for development, and for everything in terms of cooperation. And a group of them have decided that it is not working for them and that they are seeking to withdraw. And we have seen the follow-through setting up their own regional organization. How does that, feature in the scheme of things moving forward? It means that it does not change anything significantly in terms of working with ECOWAS. ECOWAS can choose to treat that organization just like any other organization within the sub-region. But without enforcing what it means for the cessation of relations with ECOWAS, we can continue to work with them. And in fact, it makes sense if you look at the reality of the region, for ECOWAS to actually draw closer to them and forge a stronger working relationship along the lines of trade, security, and governance. We cannot risk destabilizing the region with this kind of ECOWAS's disintegration. 3 members leaving ECOWAS is too big a number, and that's about 20-25% of the entire membership of ECOWAS. And so we need to work closer with this regional, this grouping, 3-member nation. Who knows? It might be bigger than that if we are not able to put together as a regional body in charge of security and in charge of, regional stability.
I see. Do you get the impression that this could give it could be an incentive for other nations to break away from ECOWAS?
Well, there's that risk. There's a risk that if we treat these breakaway nations in the way that you capture, it might, create incentive for other nations to go the same way. Well, there's that risk. But it depends on the kind of leadership at play at ECOWAS, how you relate to them, and what potentially it means, for them, both ways. And so there's that risk involved in terms of it serving as an incentive for other nations to break away and join that group. But more importantly, we need to look within ECOWAS. What is it that ECOWAS seeks to offer member nations? What is it that, members benefit from being members of ECOWAS? And that is more important than the risk that members would leave. People would leave if they feel that they no longer benefit from the membership of the region. People would leave if they believe that they're better off belonging to other regions or other regional. And so that is an important part of the conversation going forward. If you remember, 2 years ago, we warned the approach adopted by some of the regions adopted by ECOWAS in terms of the threat of invasion of these countries. And that clearly has backfired. And we need to re-strategize in terms of how we keep the remaining members of ECOWAS intact and more commitment to the foundation and the spirit with which ECOWAS was established. And that is ensuring stronger regional cooperation, regional economic integration, and serving the people of ECOWAS. There are several issues and challenges with ECOWAS at the moment. But generally, the most important thing is how do we reposition ECOWAS to serve the direct needs and interests of the people of ECOWAS, and ensuring that people feel belonged and that there's value in belonging to a regional grouping like ECOWAS.
Indeed. Mutaro, I remember 2 years ago when this came up, one of the concerns that had been raised was the impact it could have on security. 2 years down the line, did it have the adverse impact that was predicted? The breakaway from ECOWAS could cause the regional bloc. And looking into the future, do we expect any more changes in the security of our landscape?
Well, at the moment, we are facing multiple security challenges within the sub-region. And the most prominent is the challenge of violent extremism. Terrorism is very pervasive within the region. And all of us, including those in coastal states, are at risk. And no nation within the region is adequately positioned to successfully deal with the threat. And so leaving ECOWAS further exposes these countries to be a serious threat of violent extremism. And what we're seeing clearly in the last 2-3 years, the advance of the threat towards coastal states, in fact, is closer to coastal countries now than ever. And that shows the weakness with which we have approached the issue, and particularly the breakaway countries. And so if we need to succeed against this threat, we need to keep together, we need to work together, and to ensure that we put the brakes on that. And so at the moment, there are many, many challenges that further worsen the ECOWAS's position. And the best approach is to ensure we work together, irrespective of the other differences that we may have in terms of politics and in terms of what it means for the region.
Very well. We'll leave it here. Thank you so much for talking to us, security analyst Mutaro Mumuni Mukhtar. You're live here on NewsCentral. We'll be right back with more news. Don't go away.
One bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. One bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
I love President Charcoal. Why?
When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste.
That's both charcoal and lemon.
Oh, does it?
Yes. Look right here.
Yes.
Pepsodent Charcoal has 2 of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
One upgrade is nice, but a double upgrade is amazing. And that's how we do it. Upgrade today to get even more with Step Up. If you're on GoTV Max and upgrade to GoTV Super, you'll get way more with GoTV Super Plus.
That's so cool!
Get big value. Get big entertainment.
Very good.
Perfect! Upgrade and get even more with GoTV.
Man.
GoTV. Love it.
We have recorded tremendous success in ensuring that the vision of our founding fathers does indeed become a reality.
We welcome you to the next Africa Prosperity Dialogues and the Africa Prosperity Champions Awards, which take place in Accra, Ghana from the 30th of January to the 1st of February 2025.
I will work to foster the partnerships that transcends our borders, and I'll work collectively with you towards regional stability, economic growth, and mutual respect.
We see our role in enabling Africans to have a better future.
We indeed have what it takes. There is no dream which is too big or impossible.
On occasions like these, we give ourselves an excellent opportunity to showcase the difference we can make.
To register, visit africaprosperitynetwork.com. Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2025, delivering Africa's single markets through infrastructure. Invest, connect, integrate.
I'm going to take you across the regions now. Scores of parents who besieged the Kumasi office of WASSCE are resisting attempts by the officers to allow students whose WASSCE results have been withheld to write a report. Ibrahim Abubakar is currently at the WASSCE premises and joins us with a bit more on the story. Ibrahim, good afternoon. What can you report here?
Unfortunately, just some few minutes ago, the parents have agreed that they will allow their wards to be able to write this report so that they'll go to their various destinations. In fact, about 30 minutes ago, this entire place was full, and these are students whose results have been withheld. And most of the students here are from TI Ahmadiyya, because apparently we are told that the entire students of TI Ahmadiyya and their mathematics results have been withheld. So a number of them were here. Some have gone back to the schools because the parents are still not satisfied with that decision. And now others were even contemplating whether they have to move back to where they are coming from, way back Wa and other places, and come back here again. But when the officials came around this time to convince them, most of them have agreed, because they are saying they cannot just live here without seeing their issues being addressed. But others have also already left and they've moved to their various destinations. So this is basically, in fact, for the WASSCE officials, they said this is the formality. Anytime your result is withheld, you have to come and write reports, and you go through some couple of interview process, which takes about 10 minutes. Then later, when they are satisfied, they need to release your results to you, they will do that. When they have to show you to, they will go ahead and show you, because these are results that these are not students who were caught conducting any examination or practices. But during the marking, the examiners realized that most of them had gone through the same trend or have resorted to the same material. So they had to flag their results. They had to go through the second and third parties, because WASSCE finally holding these results. So like I said, finally, most of them have agreed, but still, clearly you can hear from my background, some parents are still not happy with that decision, because they said last year when some of the students wrote their report, all of them were failed, and for that matter, they do not see the need for the students to write the report.
What is this report meant to achieve? Explain to us.
Well, for the WASSCE officials, apart from writing the report, the students will also go through some couple of interviews. So they are using this to assess and see whether they indeed that said student committed that examination malpractice or not. Because for, like I said, for our maths, the entire students, their mathematics results has been withheld. So as to whether the person even or the said student indeed engage in any form of malpractice or not, they cannot tell. So this is something they will have to give the students also hearing, even though those who have done the earlier investigation have come out with their report that indeed these students have committed examination malpractice. It's fair that they give the students also some form of hearing, go through that process, and they will now make the final determination whether they will have to go ahead and release the student result to them, or they will still have to fail them, because withholding it means they are still investigating. So finally it will come whether they will release your marks to you or they will release it and flag you as failed for that particular subject.
Quite a number of people are there, much more than a score of people there to seek this report. How widespread is the issue of malpractice in the region? How many people are involved here?
Well, in fact, for now, we've not been able to get specific figure, but I can tell you that when we came here in the morning, hundreds of parents and their children were here. I've not been able to count all of them, but there will be more than 4,000. So for Amas, for instance, they have a student population, those who wrote the mathematics, 2,000 to 3,000, so they are affected. Then we have other schools too that we have selected students who are affected. So regardless of which school or which school you went to within the Ashanti region, all of them will have to come to the Kumasi office of WASSCE and to go through that process. So in fact, for the officers, it's a concern that they have been raising over the years, because they said it's been widespread, and every year we keep seeing some of these issues. So it's just a matter of time we try and address this issue of examination malpractice so that the pressure wouldn't be piling on them here, because almost every year they record issues of examination malpractice and also try to find ways to solve it.
We'll end it here. Thank you so much for talking to us, Ibrahim Abubakar. Now, the People's National Congress, PNC, has formed an 11-member committee to review the reasons for which the Electoral Commission disqualified the party's flag bearer from contesting the 2024 presidential election. The committee is also tasked to take input from party members to effectively reorganize and position itself well towards the election 2028. The committee is expected to present its report to NEC in 2 months. 2024 flag bearer of the party, Bernard Mona, addressed the media after a National Council meeting in Kumasi.
Take submissions from across the constituencies from our party members so that we can find out where we faulted, how we can overcome the inadequacies so that we can position PNC as the next party to govern Ghana in 2029 and beyond. We are very, very sure that we will win 2028, because 2029, when we'll be assuming office, the PMP, which is the direct progeny of the PNC, won elections in 1979, and 2029 will be exactly 50 years. So we'll be ushering in a party of the man in 2029. It's the reason for which we are holding this meeting. The party will also further review whether our declaration for the NDC has been symbiotic or it has been parasitic.
The PNC's 2024 flag bearer, Bernard Mona. Now, a cerebrospinal meningitis, CSM outbreak has hit the Upper West region, resulting in 6 fatalities within the first month of 2025. According to reports, there have been 20 suspected cases and 9 confirmed ones of CSM in the region since the start of the year. The Upper West region is no stranger to CSM outbreaks, having experienced recurring epidemics over the years. Ibrahim Wangara has more on the story. He joins us live. Ibrahim, what else can you tell us about the suspected cases so far?
So far, what we do know is that we have 11 districts and municipalities within the Upper West region, and out of these 11, 6 districts and municipalities are the places we recorded suspected cases. And we have the Fiema Buse Isa with 1 suspected case, Jirapa municipality 2 cases, West district with 3 cases, Lambuse district 2 cases, Nandom 5, and Nadoli Keleo district with the highest suspected cases of 7. That is how the trend has been. And when it comes to confirmed cases in the region, we have Nadoli Keleo district recording 4 confirmed cases, with that of Nandom also recording 3 confirmed cases, and West also recorded 1 confirmed case when it comes to CSM within the Upper West region.
I see. What steps are being taken to curb further spread of CSM?
Well, the Health Directorate has been engaging in a number of activities, and they have issued flyers and then equally going to radio stations to give some kind of education to residents. And they said the mode of transmission is an airborne infection, and it spreads direct from infected person to another through droplets. And then they have encouraged residents to increase fluid intake, rest and sleep, hand washing with soap and running water, exercises regularly. And the preventive measures are residents are advised to avoid overcrowded places. Air or ventilated rooms should be encouraged to use of nose masks, vaccination, that's children from 18 months to 59 months old should be vaccinated. And then we are equally encouraged to avoid direct contact with people coughing or sneezing frequently. So these are some of the steps being taken and the education being given to residents regarding these CSM issues within the Upper West region.
And how is this education to residents being assimilated?
Well, few people are adjusting to these measures being put in place. Others see it to be normal because this is not the first time meningitis is hitting the Upper West region year in, year out. And as residents, they are used to it. According to some of them, this part of the country is being referred to as a meningitis belt. The Upper West region is described as being located within the meningitis belt. So it's something that they are getting used to. So when issues like this are coming, some of them are already putting in their own measures to ensure the spread is minimal. Others see it to be normal because they don't care. Whatever be the case, in one way or the other, people will be affected. So whichever way it goes, they are okay with it. But duty bearers are still ensuring that the sensitization goes on with them and people abide by these preventive measures.
Ibrahim, thank you so much for talking to us. Ibrahim Wangara there, taking us on another break. When we come back, a few more stories will come your way.
going to interview Zuzum right here in my house. Hey!
Look up there. Why are you using inferior pen?
It was a mistake. I no check.
Acrobat, I'm going to knock you out.
I know, sir.
You deserve quality.
Don't make mistakes. Stop.
You did the right thing.
When you are going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury acrylic paint. No be any painting be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
Through every step of life's unpredictable journey, every moment counts. That's why you need a partner you can always trust for solutions, so you can be rest assured. Having impacted over 200,000 lives, processed over 4.2 million claims, partnered with over 400 corporations, paid out over 836 million Ghana cedis in claims, contracted over 1,600 healthcare facilities nationwide, and pioneered several innovations like free medicine delivery, an interactive mobile app, and more. You'll be surprised what can be accomplished in 20 years. We're part of the Nationwide family. Are you? Nationwide Medical Insurance, 20 years of leading the way.
The wait is over. Season 2 of Top Intern is here, and the journey to find the next big star is already heating up. We called out to fresh graduates from top schools across the nation, and they answered in droves. This week, the competition kicks off with an intense aptitude test to challenge their mental sharpness, followed by face-to-face screenings with our esteemed faculty. Who will make it to the final 12? The road to greatness begins now. Catch the thrilling first episode of Top Intern TV3.
Top Intern Season 2 premiering Sunday 2nd February at 3 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by Tampico.
The winner of Talented Kids Season 15.
The wait is finally over. Talented Kids Season 16 is back and it is set to be the most thrilling season. Prepare to be amazed by the mesmerizing performances that will captivate audiences of all ages. We are calling on all institutions, parents, and individuals who believe in the extraordinary talent of children aged 6 to 12. Our audition train to make its first stop in Kumasi on the 6th of February at the McLean Hotel. Then, we'll make its last stop in Accra on the 8th of February at the TV3 premises. Talented kids, free to play.
Justin, from the course we're hearing that the state has discontinued its case against now Finance Minister Dr. Cassel Atuba-Forson. In the document I see, the Republic, the respondent versus Cassel Atuba-Forson, first accused person, appellant respondent, Richard Jakwa, third accused person, appellant respondent. It reads that please take notice that the Republic, having previously served notice of appeal to the court against the judgment delivered by the Court of Appeal on the 30th day of July 2024, hereby gives you notice that the Republic does not intend further to prosecute the appeal, but that the Republic abandons all further proceedings with respect to this matter as from the date of this notice. I guess the question then will be, what is the matter at hand This is in reference to the ambulance case brought against the now Finance Minister, Dr. Cancellation Ato-Forson, and businessman Richard Jakpa. You recall that when the case came to a close and Ato-Forson and Richard Jakpa were acquitted on the matter, the state had intentions of appealing to the ruling. That appeal was indeed, a notice of that was given. This current notice, since office changing hands, the NPP going out, so did the Attorney General at the time, Godfrey Dame. There's a new one in town now, Dr. Dominic Ayene and his office, i.e. the state, have decided not to follow the case any longer. And so there is no longer an appeal against Richard Jakpa and Finance Minister Dr. Ato-Forson. So just in, the state will no longer pursue that appeal case against the ruling that acquitted and discharged Dr. Cancellation Ato-Forson in that ambulance case. They're, chasing that money that supposedly the state had lost will no longer be appealed as far as this government is concerned. Ending our bulletin today. Thank you so much for your company. I'm Kemeni Amano. Bye-bye.